Hello everyone and welcome to Tutorial 1, where we will be discussing how to share documents in Google Apps. Google Apps is an incredibly useful group of tools, and one of the great things about using Google Apps for making documents is that you can share them with other people. And the benefit of doing this is that you don't need to worry about attaching a document to an email and sending it out to other people. You've got one document in one place and everyone can get access to it. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. Now, to get started, the first thing you need to do is go to google.com, which is where I'm at right now. Once you're there, you're going to need to log in to your Google account. To do that, you would go to the top right corner and choose Sign In. I am already signed in. You can see my profile right here. But just make sure that you're signed in. And once you do that, the next thing you're going to want to do is click on the Google Apps icon here in the top right. It's this group of boxes right here. If I click on that, you'll see a list of all these different apps. The one that we're going to access is Google Drive right here. There are other ways to get into Google Documents, but I prefer to go in through Google Drive. That way I can easily see where my files and folders are located. Now, once you're in Google Drive, you're going to want to choose a folder for your document to be in, or create a new folder if necessary. So I'll create a new folder. To do that, I'll go up here to New and click on New Folder. I'm going to give it a name and hit Create. And now that folder is created. Now, if I want to make a document and put it in that folder, the easiest way to do that is just go into the folder and now create a new document from inside the folder. To do that, I'll again go up here and hit New, and this time I'll go down and click on Google Docs. And you'll see that a blank document appears in your browser, and this will function very much in the same way that like Microsoft Word would function. Now usually the best thing to do once you get a new document started is to give it a name. To do that, I'll go up to the top where it says Untitled Document, and I can just select this text, delete it, and put in my own text. So I'll say Example Document and hit Enter. And now my document has a name. One thing to keep in mind in Google Docs is that all changes that you make are automatically saved for you, so you don't need to worry about saving your changes. There is a way to undo any changes that you've made, but I'll talk about that in another tutorial. Now, I've got my document. It has a name, so the next step will be to share it. To do that, I'll go over to the top right here and click on the Share button. When I click on that, you'll see this window comes up. It says Share with Others. And what I can do is, in this text box, I can type in the email addresses of people that I want to share this document with. So I'll just do an example here. I'll type in this email address. Okay. And that person has been added to the list. Now, when you add people or you add email addresses in this text box, you're going to want to decide what can those people do in your document. If you go over here to the right where you see this pencil icon, if I click on the arrow here, I can decide, do I want people to edit the document? That means they can add and delete and change stuff. Do I want them to be able to comment, which means they can't add or edit stuff, but they can highlight things and make comments about them? Or do I want them to view only, which means they can't edit, they can't comment, all they can do is see your document. So this is something that's pretty important. You want to make sure that you choose the right setting for whatever is best in your situation. For now, I'll just choose can edit. One more thing that we can do is we can add a note, which is basically like typing an email, letting the person or people know what this document is and why you're sharing it with them. So you might type something like, here is the document that we will be working on. And now I can click send. And what will happen is that an email will be sent to the person or people that I've listed in this text box. And when they get that email, they'll see this message, and they will also get a link to access the document. So I'll click send, and my document is now shared with the person that I added. Now, a couple more things to mention. First of all, you can always change sharing permissions. So I just shared this document with someone, but maybe later I decide, well, I don't want to let that person edit anymore. I want them to view it, but I don't want them to edit it. I can change that permission by going into the share settings again. So I'll click on share. And you'll see there's a name listed here. It says shared with Dominic Slawson. If I click on that, it'll bring up the details about how this document is shared. It'll give you a list of everyone that you've shared it with. And for each person that's listed, you can change the permission. So here's Dominic Slawson. If I click on the icon, I can set to can view rather than edit. And now that person can no longer edit the document, they can only see it. I'll click on Save Changes, and done. And now that person can only view. So you can always change your sharing permissions. One more thing I'll show you is how to make a shareable link. So again, I'll go up here to the Share button, click that, and you'll see in the top right there's this link right here. It says Get Shareable Link. If I click on that, Google will create a web link for my document. And basically anyone who gets this link will be able to access it. So I could put this link in an email, or I could put it on a website. I could put it anywhere that people can click on the link and they can go to the document. I can also decide what those people can do. So here you can see it says anyone with the link can view. I could change that if I wanted to, though most of the time if you do this you probably want just people to view, because by sharing it this way you're allowing anyone who gets access to that link to do whatever you allow them to do. So it can be something, well, it's something that you want to think about a little bit before you make it public. Also, if you do make a link and then later you decide you don't want the link to be active anymore, you can always click on this arrow and hit off, and that will basically kill the link so it's no longer active, no longer usable. And I'll hit done. So that is how you share documents in Google Apps. This, again, it can be a very useful tool. You can simultaneously work on a document with other people. And if you're working on a project or something like that where you're collaborating with others, this can be an excellent way to get group work done. So I encourage you to experiment with it, see how it can help you in whatever tasks that it might prove useful. And I hope that this tutorial has proven useful. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.